time for a Protoss versus Protoss here. Seoul continuing their trend of, well, to be quite frank, not winning. Game number 1, Gumiho taking the game. Really nice control of the map, interesting composition. And now we're going into game 2.
Yeah, Protoss versus Protoss here. Of course, with Tacita being the underdog going up against Deer in a Protoss versus Protoss. Should be an interesting match. And for FXOpen, of course, it would be great if Tacita causes a bit of an upset here and takes him down. Still rocking his pink keyboard here.
Yeah, and I don't know why he has a pink keyboard, but I'm not gonna ask.
Maybe Aphrodite lent him hers.
Yeah, he's always using that, and he's like, I don't know, all the fans seem to like Aphrodite for some reason. He's like, I don't know, I think I'm better than her in StarCraft, but like maybe it's the keyboard.
Yeah, during the break, I actually had quite a laugh. I'm currently looking into like specs for new phones. Wolf is already happy with his new Note 3 that he bought.
Very happy with it.
And a few new things leaked about the Samsung S5 that they're going to release apparently in January. And like one of the guys, one of the comments actually demanded that they go for like real like innovation, and they have like 4K recording on a phone. I had to laugh so hard. Like, come on, when was the last time when you actually sat at home and you were watching a movie and you were like, oh my god, why is it only 1080? Yeah. I want to have like 4K, like...
On my phone! On my phone!
On my phone, exactly.
I'm always sitting on the subway and I'm like, I just got this new big screen, but I wish I had 4K video.
Yeah.
So I could watch a tiny screen in 4K.
In 4K, it's like, not even at my screen at home do I miss that. It's like 1080, awesome. 720, I can still live with that. It's like, some people are just like, it's beyond belief. Always good for a laugh.
Always good for a laugh. Well, Protoss versus Protoss here. Deer up against Tastar. Can Seoul tie it up? Let's find out right now. Map number 2, cast by Counter and Wolf.
Starting to the bottom left, we have the FXO Protoss player, the underdog in this mirror match.
FXO Tassadar.
Sometimes he's also called Tacita.
Yeah, if you want to, go Tassadar, that's also fine.
Yeah. To the top right, we have his opponent. It is, of course, for Seoul.
Seoul, Deer.
Deer in this matchup, 61% win ratio. And I actually have to look that up again.
Okay. Well, this is a...
Already.
Well, alright, I'll let you spill it out.
Alright, I was just looking at the statistics once again, and like I had a bit of a glitch there. Yeah, talking a little bit about the matchup for both of them. Dia, of course, like a very well-known Protoss player for his skills, especially up against like players like channel players and Zergs, but also in the PvP. Pretty solid, 54% win ratio with 17 and 14. Now, just recently won against Trap, of course, with a 3-0. That was pretty impressive. A lot of people expected Trap to do a lot better against Dia, but he just crushed him. Trap not even taking a single map in that Premier League match. And Tacita, on the other hand, he has 2 maps played in Heart of the Swarm offline against Protoss. 2. One against...
Any of them?
Yeah, he won the map against MC in the preseason. That was in February, by the way. That was before Heart of the Swarm came out, in the beta. And since then, he played a single match in Protoss versus Protoss. And that was in May, when he was matched up against Hurricane, a match that he lost. So, we do not know a lot about Tacita in the Protoss versus Protoss, and unfortunately, there's a very good reason for that. The reason being that he's currently not really the player that makes waves. And Dia apparently decides to go for aggression here right away. And the same thing is going on with Tacita.
I think we're going to see double proxy Stargate.
It looks very much like it, yeah.
This is going to be really weird, but a slower version for Tassadar, not only with his pylon timing, but he gets the mothership core.
And the problem, of course, being that with the slower version, you might just lose the game there.
If you get wind of it, it's so easy to counter, though, with both players winning Stargate. And Tassadar could still add a Twilight Council here, because... I think DT is actually becoming the standard of PvP. Like, DT is actually fast becoming the best build, it seems like, so...
DTs are definitely... this is a bit the go-to build these days. But right now we have Stargate versus Stargate, and the Stargate for Dia is so much faster.
But no, I'm actually a little bit disappointed in Deer going Proxy Stargate versus Tastar of all people. You know, you would think that he would study his games and look and say, I'm just going to play a straight-up game here, but he actually just wants to go... He wants to... Tastar's pretty cheesy, using that out-cheese the cheeser here, and he gets a huge lead, like you said, and it might cost him the game. That Tastar is a little bit slower here.
Well, Deer currently with his APM up at 350 at times. I feel that he wants to end the game early, of course, also because of his upcoming match. But right now, in this situation, he's getting his own units now. This one Oracle, that's going to destroy everything in the main base. This Oracle is going to get so many kills. There's a single Stalker that can work
he's
against
just going to ignore it. He's going to ignore the Stalker and just target here.
And the Mothership Core, on the other hand, like can use like the Photon Overcharge for Deer. That's something that Tassadar just doesn't have. He doesn't have nothing at home. Look at this. Getting so many kills already.
He's not even moving the Stalker back because he's microing in the other player's base. He's actually microing and he has to recall his Mothership Core home. That's not going to be useful here.
8 kills already. Is getting another one. 9 kills. And only the shields lost. Has to go away, running out of energy. And at this point in time already, a massive, massive lead for Deer. Question, of course, being how much damage can Tassadar do with his own Oracle?
Well, he needs to send it in there. I guess he's going to wait until he thinks the units have moved out. But the Mothership Core back at home for Deer is actually going to be able to activate. And, well, he actually already does.
He is already going into Blink. I mean, the Templar Archive is done. He has 2 additional gates coming up. The Blink is on the way.
He's going to have 3 gateways, Blink Stalkers, and...
the Oracle, that's the big question. How much damage is it going to do? There you go.
Timing here is actually really good for Tastar. Just happens to come in here at the right moment.
Yeah, but so far, there comes the Warpin Stalker. Another one is on his way back home. Not too many probes killed just yet. Here we go again. Trying to get a few more. 6 kills so far. Harvester count still in favor of Tassadar, actually.
Yep, up 3 Harvesters here. He played the safer game when it came to timings on the Proxy Oracle. And actually, he still has power of his Stargate, something that Deer does not have. This game has been pretty crazy, and I guess we're going to stabilize a little bit here. And I like the choice of Dark Shrine, honestly, a little bit better than Blink.
Actually, like, to be honest, right now, if he has the income, I feel that Deer with the Blink Stalkers has a really good position here. We have 1 Oracle, and the problem really being that with only 1 Oracle, you either have to keep it in your army on your main base if you want to have detection against the DTs. So if there are 2 DTs, one heading for the defense at the bottom left, and the other one just going to the top right, trying to take down units of Deer and the sole player's main base, then it's a big problem for Deer, of course. But at this point, with a good timing, Deer could do devastating damage, and he knows exactly what's going on. He's already scouted the Dark Shrine.
And he wants to actually force the overcharge before he attacks with that Oracle. That was a good idea. Did not work, did not happen that way. A little bit of harassment here again from Tassadar. Goes in, just targets this down. He knows there's no Dark Shrine. He also confirms that with this, so he knows he has that tech advantage, and since he killed the pylon powering the Stargate, he knows that there's no additional Oracles coming out, so the 1 Oracle that he's trapped is the only detection that Deer is going to have here. And there's the overcharge. Blink is done. But I'm really liking more and more Tassadar's position. Dark Shrine is done.
Tassadar was supply blocked for a long time. He just got out of the supply block and he's immediately supply blocked again. Now the DTs are on the way. That 1 robotics is still not completed. That is becoming an issue here, and a pretty big one.
Yeah, and he knows the Oracle is trapped. Here come the DTs here. And Caldor, I think Tassadar might actually pull an upset. He's actually sending those DTs in.
Well, but we have the yeah, there comes the Observer. Can he take down the pylon? I actually think he should maybe target down the pylon.
He absolutely should, and he does. No?
No, he doesn't. I think there's only... Are there 2 pylons powering that robo? I think it's only 1,
it's only 1, yeah, it's only 1, and...
it's just outside of range of that.
I think he doesn't realize how far away the actual Observer was from coming out.
Oh, nice moves here. Oh, wow, the probes blocking the Stalker, so the Oracle can once again get away here. And the Observer is out. And oh, he left the DTs right at the front, and he's losing both of them for nothing. Oh, misstep here by the FXO player.
Tassadar having some great plays here in this game, but then suddenly just seeming to throw it all away. I mean, he could have killed the pylon, like you said. He could have chased probes down, but he was shooting Stalkers with the DTs half the time. He lost both of them for free. Now he's trying to transition into his own Blink and his own robotics.
Yeah, Tassadar could have done a little bit more with those DTs. With a good split there, I feel he could have done so much more damage to Deer. He's really putting up a fight on the other hand. I still want the same army supply, but with the tech that we have coming in for Deer, I feel that he is going to be the one who takes the edge. At this point, Structure's lost the Paladin for both of them. Another forward Paladin of Dia is going to be taken out here. But Dia's already transitioning into Immortals, whereas we don't even have Blink completed for Tassadar.
Yep. Revelation used here to be a little bit annoying and also to detect when that blink is done.
He wants to know if those Stalkers move away so that he can go in with the Oracle again.
Don't forget, for those of you guys who don't always stay up to date on StarCraft, there was another change announced to the Oracle, where the Revelation can no longer be gotten rid of by recloaking or burrowing. So, definitely check that out.
The army size definitely getting a lot better for Dia, and also that Immortal gives him so much, like, just kill power against the army that we have for Tassadar on the game. He gets the second one, and the only unit that Tassadar isn't relying on is the Stalker. And the Stalker alone against the Immortals. So that starts to become a little bit scary for the FXOpen Protoss player. But he's really putting up a fight against Dia here, so doing a lot better than expected given his performance in the past.
Who's going to take a Nexus first? It looks like neither of them really want to. The probe count's so low for both that it's kind of awkward.
Dia just started his own behind this. He starts his Nexus and he's attacking as well. Here comes the Blink Micro for both of them. But we also have this Sentry for Dia here, going for the shield, and at the same time the Immortal from the second row is doing so much damage already. The Stalker count much better for Tassadar.
Tassadar having a really good concave here. That Immortal doing so much damage. The Guardian Shield you talked about was so important as well. Immortal is targeted by a Zealot as well here, and it looks like Tassadar is going to be able to blink for the chase, take out 3 more Stalkers, goes for the Immortal instead, and Tassadar taking a huge lead here.
Tassadar taking a massive lead in the army supply at this point, chasing down his opponent's Stalker, and he is definitely roaming with this. 9 against 6 Stalkers. Another round, of course, swapped in by Dia, but the Protoss player for Soul, he has to be careful. His own expansion is not done yet. He cannot use the Photon Overcharge on the Nexus yet.
No, he cannot, and Tassadar is really making waves here in this game. Does not have high ground vision. 2 observers, on the other hand, for the Soul Protoss Deer here. Nexus will have to be cancelled, I feel.
Well, he could let it finish and go for the overcharge, and I think that's what he's going to do. Oh dear, he has to do what he can here. A blink forward onto the ramp, taking down the Immortal, and suddenly the Stalker out still in favor of Tassadar. He's trying to go for the victory here, but we still have that photo overcharge in the game, and there's so much damage to him.
So much damage here, and it looks like Deer is actually going to be able to hold with the DPS on that overcharge. 3 Stalkers warping in, it's not going to be enough.
And this might already be game with Dia having an expansion. Tassadar doesn't have one. The army supply now in favor of the Soul player. Tassadar was just going for this. He was really determined to take down Dia right here and now. But the Nexus finishes, the Mothership Core uses the Photon Overcharge, and Tassadar is caught on the ramp, still in range of the Photon Cannon. And Dia takes down every single unit and suddenly is in the same amount of Stalkers and has also the Immortal and an expansion.
I have to say the choice to blink into the main was one I think made a little bit irrationally. I think he was just like, I got this, I've got the advantage, I'm going to push for it. But now he's got nothing.
You know, if he actually gets out of the range of the Photon Overcharge, I feel then he can do it.
Yeah.
If he has an observer there and he doesn't go up the ramp, but he actually blinks onto the high ground outside the range of the Photon Overcharge, with the numbers that he has, he can win that. And then suddenly he might win the game and just camp his opponent's production. But being caught on that ramp destroyed his army.
Yeah. Just eating all that damage. The Immortal comes out. Tassadar is... There's no way he can win this game. He looked like he was going to try to snipe the Observer and go for DTs. Then he lost his own Observer, so now he can't do that anymore. I mean, what's the plan here, Tassadar? Right? I mean, I think he's just going to try to attack again.
At this point, it's desperation. He knows that he can't put up a Nexus and play the catch-up game. He's already too far gone for that. So he's trying to just make it happen now. But with double Immortal, there is just no way. He cannot snipe those. There is too much Stalker support, and Dia knows it as well. He just has to keep whopping in Stalkers and getting another Immortal, and he's going to be completely golden.
Yeah. He even killed the Mothership Core, so there's no more high ground vision, no Observer. And I feel like the only thing that's keeping Tassadar in this game is that he has control with his Stalkers at the choke point. There's no pylons on the map, for example, for Deer for him to do harassment. Although he did sneak a probe out, so that's going to change pretty soon here. And 4 Immortals. No way this is going to get anything done here.
Yeah.
He's really trying to make it happen, but...
He does not have the economy. We have 41 Harvesters already for Deer. And he's just trying to use his mobility.
Yeah, you know, he's catching an Immortal here. I mean, all these things are nice on paper, but how does he actually... Oh, that was really well done. He even gets the Stalker away, but he can't actually finish the game. He can't take an edge. He can't get a Nexus.
The problem for him just being that he doesn't have the sustainability. His income is not there, and Dia is just putting more units into the game. He was producing Stalkers and Immortals. He already has an edge, not only in the Harvest account, but also he's doubling his opponent's army supply. And I just don't see any chance for Tassadar to come back here. He's trying, he's doing whatever he can. He's running away, using the mobility that he has, but now he's caught between a hammer and a half place, and he is going down, losing Stalker after Stalker. GG! Dia jumping up to 400 APM here at the end, just blinking his Stalkers at leisure, taking out Tassadar, and equalizing the score here in the team match between Seoul and FXOpen.
Tassadar with so many opportunities in that game to take an easy win. You know, for example, when he could have killed the pylon to stop any observers from coming out, could have actually just gotten the win right then and there. But unfortunately, just did not micro. He's concerned about the Oracle in his main. And I feel like in a lot of ways, Deer is pretty lucky, but he played the safer game in the long run. And because Tassadar was not able to actually get those key victories in the game, he just won it. In the end, blinking up that ramp, a rash decision. And like you said, if he gets away from the overcharge, it's a good one. But he didn't have detection, so he had no way of doing it except directly blinking up the ramp.
Tassadar just in general in this game, I must say, like, he was playing really well and he nearly had it. It was very, very close. When Dia overextended at the bottom left, he definitely had a shot there. But the problem for him really just being, there were a few mistakes that could have given him a lead. I mean, DTs, as mentioned, that was one of the things that he could have done, for example. Just a better split, keeping one the main base, running away with one, sneaking him in a little bit later.
Yeah.
Opportunities that he just didn't have. You could really see that sometimes the multitasking wasn't there for him. We had Dia operating units in his own main base, defending against the Oracle harass of Tassadar, at the same time attacking at the bottom left. And Tassadar lost a little bit too much. He had the Oracle outside of the main base of Dia and just waiting there because he was busy at the bottom left. But on the other hand, Deer's a finalist, so
he's got a lot of skill. I mean, that's
definitely a skill gap there.
Yeah, nobody's going to deny that they're just not quite on the same level, at least right now. So that puts actually Seoul in a 1-1 score here. The two pros players to them seem to be the ones getting all the points in the team league, but they need more than that.
Yeah. And right now, the next game that we have is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg. We have Seed coming out against Youngju, and this is going to be one of the pivotal games, in my opinion. I mean, I mentioned it before. For me, the most exciting games today were definitely the one between Gumiho and Hiva, where Gumiho took it. It was really important for FXOpen, in my opinion. Dia against Tassadar, just looking at the names, you would say, all right, Dia's going to take that, if not for a huge upset. Tassadar was close, but
yeah, he actually really could have won the game in several points.
And now we have Youngju against Seed, so I feel this is already... I feel that the team who takes this game will most likely take the team match today.
I agree, and this is, you know, the one who's going to take the lead at the very least here. Yeah. The question is Youngju nervous today? Is he stressed? Is he in shape? Because the last two times we saw him, you know, he fell apart to some of the most basic types of harassment and mid-game play.
Yeah. But we have Seed up against him, and Seed is very confident, but he is also a little bit unlucky when it comes to his performance, especially in the individual league. In the team league, he's doing a little bit better, but still not where he really wants to be. He's very confident in his abilities, and he says, like, at a good day, he can beat anyone, which is, in my opinion, definitely true. He has the skills, he has the basics to do that, but something just always goes wrong, just a tiny little bit, and throws him off. So it's also not only the question, like, how good is Youngju today? The same as, like, what are we going to see from Seed?
Yeah, that's what I want to know, because Seed, like you said, he's kind of unlucky sometimes. I feel like he's one of the most unlucky, successful, good pro gamers of all time, where he's a champion, he's really, really good, and he plays games sometimes that are incredible, and you look at it and you say, how is this guy not in Code S? And he just has sometimes bad luck with brackets. Sometimes he has an off day when it really matters.
There are a few things about Seed. He never gives up. He always bounces back. He goes out of the Challenger League. Immediately the next season he's there once again. And like things like this, he's always there. And he's also a player that is very critical towards himself. After each game, and even after a loss, he will be willing to just talk to journalists and be like, okay, like, I did this really, really wrong. That was my mistake. And that was where I lost the game. I should have done this a little bit better.
Yeah.
So he's very, very harsh towards himself when he talks about these things. But at the same time, like, he has this mindset where he says, like, yeah, I can beat him. I feel good in this matchup. Yeah. And especially against Terran players these days, he feels really strong. Problematic for him, of course, that there's only one Terran player on the FXO bench, and Gumiho already, on the Seoul bench, and last didn't play.
He's not playing today.
So he has to deal with the Zerg play here. But, yeah.
and I think we're actually going to get into the game relatively soon. There must be some sort of problem that I wasn't told about.
Well, from what I can see, the players are already in the lobby, so I think we're going to jump into the match in just a few seconds. But after this, we have, of course, then also Trap coming up. And Trap, also a player where you want to see what he's doing. If I'm not wrong, he's up against JKS.
Yeah.
I don't have the match list in front of me right now, but I think it's JKS versus Trap, which is going to be the 4th match today. Yeah. JKS, we have seen him like in 2012 at the end a lot. Since then, not too much. Every now and then he pops up in the team league.
Exactly. He plays every now and then. Sometimes he'll take a game and then die. But I feel like the one thing that really stands out to me about JKS is when he did the early Baneling all-in in the preseason, where he was just like, no, I'm just going to win the games.
It's actually like kind of funny that JKS sometimes shows really, really good games when you have him in a team league, and then you don't hear of him for like a long, long time. So I'm not quite sure what to expect from him. He always seems to be like really solid, but not really the player who like gets that edge and like makes that small leap that he needs to go into the limelight. On the other hand, we have Trap, someone who a lot of people expect to win that game for sure.
Yeah, I think JKS is going to do an all-in. That's my feeling.
So the Protoss players on the roster for Seoul, definitely the ones that need to perform right now. If you look at the strongest players for Seoul, it's definitely going to be Trap, Dia, and Hyper. Hyper already lost this game, Dia just won his. So a lot hinges actually not only on Trap, but on the other players performing well. We have later on, for example, Huang Xin, and then we have Sanai in the last game. 2 players that we didn't see too much, like especially Sanai in the past. So can they really win their matches? Are we going to the ace match today? That's the question here. I feel this game is going to determine a lot. Tassadar, of course, not too happy with losing against his opponent in the last match. But here we have the 3rd player for Team FXOpen today. It is Seed, and he is going up against the Zerg player.
And he has never played, of course, against Youngju. Youngju only being able to play twice. This will be his 3rd time. But Duke and Seed, if you just look at the stats on screen, it doesn't tell you all about this guy. It tells you all about this guy kind of in Korea. When it comes to GSTL, not the strongest recently, but honestly on FXOpen, since they're so low down here, everybody's kind of got a rough score right now. So, Seed, definitely a really, really good player. He is a GSL champion. And he's up against Youngju, the nervous player. He's only played twice, 0% win ratio in Telfi's matches in this studio. And the question is, how nervous is he today? And what sort of strats are we going to see? They got a goofy smile here.
Yeah, Youngju won in the qualifier for WCS against Patience with a 2-0. And Patience, one of the players that has decent result these days. So right now, Youngju definitely a player that showed us very interesting games. Like, pretty good performance there. So I feel he can definitely do it, and he can be one of those players that his team can rely upon a little bit more in the future. But he still has to show and prove it. He's getting the experience in the booth these days, so he really has to work on that. And on the other hand, of course, with Seed, we have someone who has like a ton of experience. But against Zerg, also 5-7, so 40% win ratio, not really the best. Youngju even with a 60% win ratio here, even though we have a lot less games played for him. Yep. But that's going to be a very, very important match for the teams today.
Yeah, this may be the one that really puts the momentum one way or the other. This is not an all-kill format, so it's not the same type of momentum. But it's just it's one of those maps that's hard to call. And Tristram is the map, in fact. I'm excited about this one just simply because I think it's the matchup that's the hardest to predict and say one way or the other someone is going to take it.
So we're going into the game. This is game 3 at the GSTL. We have Seoul up against FXOpen. The game at hand is Seed versus Youngju. Brought to you, of course, by Paladin.